One thing politicians love to do is ignore us. Another thing they love doing is never giving us what we have requested. Ladies and gentlemen, White House to issue policing order on anniversary of Floyd's death. We absolutely don't want this, y'all. This is just another diversion. Plain and simple. We don't need this. We didn't ask for this. We were asking for an anti Black crime bill. We were asking for reparations. We don't want this executive order on policing because no matter what reform or executive orders or laws you put in place for policing, nothing ever changes for us out on these dangerous behind streets here in America. America is not a safe country at all. If you're not white, you're not safe here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to play some audio for you on this article. White House to issue policing order on anniversary of Floyd's death. News by Tyler Pager and David Nakamura. President Biden is expected to sign an executive order Wednesday aimed at bolstering police accountability, a move that could re-energize federal reform efforts as the nation marks the second anniversary of the police killing of George Floyd, according to multiple people briefed on the announcement. Floyd's family members, civil rights advocates, and law enforcement officials are expected to join the president at the White House for a signing ceremony at 4 p.m. Wednesday. Biden will call for the creation of national standards for the accreditation of police departments and a national database of officers with substantiated complaints and disciplinary records, including those fired for misconduct, the people briefed on the matter said. The executive order also will instruct federal law enforcement agencies to update their use of force policies. Advocates have been urging the White House to take such action since a sweeping police reform bill failed in Congress last year. The bill was named for Floyd, an unarmed Black man who died under the knee of a Minneapolis police officer who was subsequently fired and convicted of murder. If you had asked me 6 months ago, I would have said it's not time for an executive order yet because we should be focused on federal legislation, the George Floyd bill in particular, said Damon Hewitt, the president and executive director of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights under Law. But once that effort was sabotaged, the administration has stepped up as much as it could via executive action. Biden's executive order will authorize the Justice Department to use federal grant funding to encourage local police to tighten restrictions on the use of chokeholds and no-knock warrants, steps that federal law enforcement agencies have already taken. It also will set new restrictions on the sale of military equipment to local law enforcement agencies, said the people familiar with the document, some of whom spoke on the condition of anonymity because the order had not yet been issued. We feel that this executive order should lay the groundwork for moving forward in a manner which will standardize training and procedures and hopefully standardize police across the country, said Jim Pascoe, executive director of the National Fraternal Order of Police, who was involved in negotiations with the White House and was briefed on the contents of the order. And we hope it will be an element in healing the rifts that exist in some places between police officers and the communities they serve. The White House declined to comment. Biden, who was en route to Washington on Tuesday after a trip to Asia, will issue the order amid a rise in violent crime and concern among civil rights groups that the White House has lost a sense of urgency around police reform. He announced he would take executive action on police reform through executive authority last September after the collapse of the federal legislation, which would have banned chokeholds and no-knock warrants, prohibited racial profiling, and eliminated qualified immunity for police officers. But in a nation polarized over discussions of race and criminal justice, negotiations over the order were fraught. Police groups denounced a leaked draft in January that stated there was systemic racism in the criminal justice system. Pascoe said the final version of the order includes allusions to racism. But it's all in the manner in which it was presented. Significant changes have been made in the phrasing, in the policy statement. The White House does not have the power to make some changes long demanded by advocates, like getting rid of qualified immunity, which protects police officers from being sued individually for misconduct. Dozens of state house bills that would eliminate such immunity have also been defeated. Other changes, like banning chokeholds or adopting stricter policies about when police can use force, also require action on the state or local level. But Mark Morial, a former New Orleans mayor who is now president and chief executive of the National Urban League, called the order a very important step. We recognize that this process is not going to be easy, Morial said. This is a long fight. I'm going to accept this first important step by the president because it's a powerful statement, and it reflects what he can do with his own executive power. Larry Cosme, president of the Federal Law Enforcement Officers Association, said the order will have the most direct impact on the nation's 100,000 federal officers, given that Biden's ability to act unilaterally on policies for local and state police is limited. But Cosme said the document could serve as a national role model for all law enforcement around the country. We've engaged in hundreds of hours of discussions, and this can inspire people in the state and local departments to say, this is what we need to do. He emphasized that the order will include sections aimed at providing more support for officer wellness, including mental health, and officer recruitment and retention at a time when many departments are facing low morale and staffing shortages. No officer wants anyone, not the suspect or the victim, to lose their life, Cosme said. We want the maximum safety for everyone in the country. This is a developing story. It will be updated.
Okay, y'all. Well, I have to beg to differ. They don't care about Black men and women losing their lives at the hands of police officers. They even make memes out of it and make mockery of it. Look at how many times after George Floyd died, people were out there trying to pretend like they were kneeling on somebody's neck. No, that's what you do. But you got the audacity and damn nerve to tell people to respect the deaths of your people. One of them died. Oh, you shouldn't talk bad about the dead, but you sure don't have no problem doing it. So therefore I don't have to respect what you wish. So back to this, ladies and gentlemen, I reject this. It's not going to change a thing for, as far as how we're treated out here in public by cops. We're going to still be profiled. We're still going to be shot down in the streets the most. They're not going to get rid of qualified immunity. They don't want to give you an anti Black crime bill, but they want to sign some old junky bill and want to act like this will suffice. It won't. Nothing less than an anti Black crime bill and your reparations will do. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is a waste of time. It is not going to do anything as far as saving lives in the Black community. We don't have any protection with the slave catchers out here. They don't protect us. They sure enough take our tax dollars and try to catch us and fine the hell out of us, but they do not protect us. So, ladies and gentlemen, you don't owe the Democratic Party a thing. Until they do right by us, nothing is going to go right for them. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.